When I first met Dr. Blumberg was in the summer of 1971. I myself, having finished 3 years pediatric oncology fellowship, I needed a staff position in Philadelphia, but there was no opening. I found Dr. Blumberg's name in Institute for Cancer Research. So I flew to Philadelphia, met Dr. Blumberg. At the end, he suggested he will create a position as a temporary research physician. Well, that research physician appointment went 2 more years extension, then indefinite. So I ended up staying with him for 17 years, enjoying every day. He has been one of the best mentor, helped my early career, and good colleague, teacher, and very close friend. I owe him a lot. Thank you.
I love Barry. I met him in 1989 when he joined the Glycobiology Institute. I enjoyed every minute we were together, but we never seemed to have enough time. It was marvelous to travel with Barry. On walks, he would stop and point out almost every tree we passed. He knew so much. He could talk to anyone about anything. We shared many thoughts about our families and about each other. Thoughts which I've never shared with anyone else. I've never had such a great friend as Barry. Barry believed in inductive rather than deductive research. His Nobel Prize was a direct result of this philosophy. He had traveled the world, far and wide, collecting serum samples, which eventually led to the identification of the hepatitis B virus and the subsequent development of the vaccine. Barry was very much an explorer and pioneer, like 2 of his heroes, Lewis and Clark. As Shakespeare says, his life was gentle, and the elements so mixed in him that nature might stand up and say to all the world, this was a man.
Charlie Rice here. I wanted to say a few words on the occasion of Baruch Blumberg's centenary celebration. He was really quite a remarkable scientist and human being. And I'll never forget this interview quote that I found, and that Barry said. He said, "Saving lives," he said, "was the whole point of his career." Well, it is something that I always wanted to do, he said. This is what drew me to medicine. There is, in Jewish thought, this idea that if you save a single life, you save the whole world, and that affected me. So I wish that all of you a sort of a fantastic celebration of this remarkable individual, and hopefully in another not too distant future celebration, we can celebrate a better way of actually curing chronic hepatitis B.
For my tribute, I'd like to tell you something about Dr. Blumberg, the human side that illustrates what he was as a mentor. While I was on sabbatical in 1991 with Dr. Blumberg and Professor Dweck at the University of Oxford, it became clear to me that he had an enormous encyclopedic knowledge. He seemed to know everything. And we'd become fairly close, about as close as I could become to a famous scientists like that, Nobel Prize winner. And Dr. Blumberg, all excited, said that, asked me if I had ever been to the New Jersey Pine Barrens. And he insisted we go immediately. And he showed up not that long, 30 minutes later, in his car, and he pointed out every little plant species, every little rodent flower. I think there was a carnivorous plant as well. His knowledge was, he was like Google or ChatGPT today. It's that zest for learning and life and a devotion to teaching. That's what I want to tell you in my tribute.
Pleasure to say a few words about Baruch Blumberg today. I met him many years ago, back in 2006, when I was awarded the what we know today as the Baruch Blumberg Medal. You can see this on the picture here with Baruch and Tim Block. I had the pleasure also to invite him to Hawaii to the HepDart meetings, And he actually came with a number of copies of his beautiful book called The Hunt for a Killer Virus. I was sitting with him, and he was trying to tell people about his book, and I would try to tell about my book. It's interesting that Tim Block actually did the preface for the book. And in that book, there is actually a chapter from Baruch, and the book itself was dedicated to Baruch Blumberg. So I'm honored to have had him as a friend and colleague. I miss him badly. He was an amazing person. Thank you.
The first B that comes to mind when I think of Barry is brilliant. Of course, Nobel Laureate, well-traveled, research papers, colleagues, master at Balliol College in Oxford. The second B that comes to mind is basic. Barry was just as comfortable doing hiking along the trails in Europe and Asia, jogging, and bicycling on the towpath in Bucks County. I remember when he stopped at our door one time with his complete bicycle gear on and just stopped to say hello on his way down the path. The third B, which is very important to me as a co-founder of the Hepatitis B Foundation, was Barry's discovery of the hepatitis B virus and also its connection to liver cancer. And it was just an incredible thing that he did when we were starting our fledgling foundation back in the 1990s. He was Tim Block's mentor, our co-founder, and he was just supportive the whole way through. So I'm thrilled to be able to be part of this 100th year tribute.
The energy in the office shifted when Dr. Blumberg came to visit the Hepatitis B Foundation. One thing I will always remember about Dr. Blumberg, when he spoke with you, he made you feel like you were the most important person in the room. Regardless of what else was going on or who else was there, his eye contact never wavered. And he could talk about anything. My professional path has been influenced by the privilege of working with extraordinary mentors, and Dr. Blumberg was among the most remarkable. From a global perspective, there are very few people in history who could truly say that they changed the course of humanity, saving millions, if not hundreds of millions of lives. Dr. Blumberg is one of those people. Tikkun Olam is a core principle of Judaism. It means to repair the world, not as a theoretical concept, but as a call to action, urging each of us to work actively to create a better world. Dr. Blumberg embraced Tikkun Olam. The world is a better place because of him, and I am a better person for having known him.
As someone who has devoted my entire career studying hepatitis B, a topic that would not have existed were it not for the fact that Barry discovered the hepatitis B virus. My encounter with Dr. Blumberg was in the early 1980s when I was a fellow at the Royal Three working with Dame Sheila. But my second encounter was even more special because I was very honored to receive the Barry Blumberg Award. This photo is sitting right in my office, as is the book written by Barry on finding the killer virus. Obviously, we've come a long way. Hepatitis B is now preventable and it is also treatable. And many of us are working to find a cure that in the years to come, we'll get closer and closer to eliminating hepatitis B. And in that regard, I'm extremely thankful for all the work that the Hepatitis B Foundation has done to put an end to hepatitis B.
So, Barry Blumberg is one of the most interesting scientists and interesting people I've ever met. I think back at his work as a scientist, it's amazing that he did the things he did with the tools he had. I think about the impact of that work, the number of people whose lives were saved by that vaccine. As a person, he was also just an interesting and very influential guy. I mean, I got to know Barry late in his career when he came back from Oxford and was again at Fox Chase. And he would hold forth, in almost like a court in the cafeteria during tea time. And I had many a discussion with him on topics that range from science to baseball to religion to almost anything. He was just a fascinating person to talk to. And certainly Fox Chase was very lucky to have him. The world was very lucky to have him. And I felt privileged to know him.
Dr. Blumberg is remembered by his discovery of hepatitis virus and the invention of the vaccine to prevent the virus infection. As a colleague of the Dr. Blumberg at Fox Chase Cancer Center in 1990s, I fortunately had his guidance and encouragement in my early research career. Now, as the president of Baruch Blumberg Institute, cure of chronic hepatitis B is our primary goal of research and drug development. I believe the best way to celebrate the life of a great scientist, physician, and mankind, Dr. Blumberg, is to eliminate hepatitis B virus infection in humans, which is currently on the way.
Hello, this is Robert Gish calling in from San Diego for this wonderful memoriam to Baruch Blumberg and many happy memories. I remember Dr. Blumberg as being an incredible humanitarian, an incredible scientist, and helped change the world. And I remember Dr. Blumberg every day because I am checking surface antigen and hepatitis B triple panel on all of my patients and trying to spread that message throughout the world. I'm super happy to be part of this wonderful honorary event, and I am thinking about changing the world through these wonderful tools that Baruch gave us with this hepatitis B discovery, and importantly, as a kind and wonderful human being.